My name is Mike Rogers. I've been with the company for about 5 years. And one experience that I thought impacted me pretty good was a buddy of mine came in, and he's in his 60s, and he'd been a general contractor for all his life. And he came in, we did a hearing test, and I said, Bruce, yeah, you need some hearing aids. And so we set him up. He took some hearing aids home that night. And when he came back the very next week, I had said, Bruce, I want you to be very honest with me and tell me what your experience is. I want the unvarnished truth, right? And he came back and he said, Mike, I got to tell you the story. He said, I had dinner with my wife that night, just as we always had for the past 30 years. And as we were sitting around after and talking, she said, Bruce, what's going on? You haven't been this attentive for years. And he lifts up his hair and he says, check this out. I went and saw Mike today. And she said, I don't care what those cost, you get those hearing aids. And it was impactful just because what it is just they're more involved in conversation. When you wear these hearing aids, it just is something where you are you're more attentive, you're more involved, you're with them more. And it was really cool to hear that story. It's actually it's a great career because all I do is I talk with people and I meet with people and how they communicate with their family and their friends, and that's really all it boils down to. Sometimes they have work situations, but generally it's being around people they love and they want to communicate, and so there's a really high job satisfaction. Sometimes we have some issues that we need to work through, and hearing aids aren't perfect. It takes some time to get used to them, but at the same time, they are terrific, and most people have a great experience with them. And so I do what I do because I enjoy it. I enjoy working with the people that I work with. A great company, and it just gives a lot of job satisfaction. What's interesting is I remember kids when I went to high school, which was about 20 years ago, and they would have these great big hearing aids that looked like bananas on the back of their ear, and the stigma is there based upon things that were happening years ago and even decades ago. A lot of the things have been taken care of. Now, not all of them are perfect, but at the same time, they're so much better than they ever have been. And I would say, a lot of the times, it doesn't matter how you can get a really great hearing aid, and if it's in the wrong hands, you may not get the service and the care and the adjustments that you need. And so we're very confident, and we're pretty competent in the areas that we feel that people need their help in. And so those stigmas we can make hearing aids basically disappear. But at the same time, they can be very natural, very smooth, and it's just bringing back the vibrancy and the clarity of life.
So the last question that we have is, what happens if maybe an earpiece malfunctions a little bit, or let's say the battery goes out?
Yeah.
What would be the process of getting a new one or replacement?
Yeah, batteries are pretty easy. Generally, a hearing aid is not going to work for two reasons. One is going to be earwax. Everybody produces it, so a lot of times people will come in and they will just have purchased a new hearing aid and their hearing aid isn't working, and they'll think that the hearing aid is broken, and all it is just wax preventing the sound from getting into the patient's ear. But if it's not wax, then it's most likely a battery, and a battery is just easily replaced. Now, the nice thing is there's rechargeable batteries. There are ones that will last anywhere from 12 to 16 hours a day, and they just came out with new ones that are lithium-ion power cells, which they'll charge for roughly 24 hours, or you'll have a minimum of 24-hour battery life. So it's a really good option. But disposable batteries are really easy. They'll last up to 7 days usually, and so you simply take it out, put in a new one, and you should be good to go. So yeah, I don't know if there's any final thoughts aside from hearing aids are great. They really are great, and most people, once they've gotten past that initial inertia of not doing something, there's a hesitancy and there's a reluctance to take a step forward. Most people say, I shouldn't have waited as long as I did. And there's some factors that, some medical reasons why you shouldn't, but at the same time, just missing out on these conversations.